All right, let's talk about some electric pencil sharpeners. If you know me in person, you know that I call myself super lazy or efficient, just depending on how you look at it. And I do not like to sharpen my pencils by hand. To me, it's time consuming and it's not rewarding, especially when for a decent price, you can buy yourself an electric sharpener that will do the job really quickly. So I have been a longtime proponent of using electric sharpeners in order to sharpen charcoal pencils, which it always says in the instructions, do not use with charcoal pencils. But to me, it's worth it to not have to sit there with a little hand sharpener or a razor blade and everything, just like whittling away at my pencils. Also, I'm super clumsy, so once I've taken the 45 minutes to shave the wood away from a pencil and then sandpaper down the lead inside, I'm gonna drop it on the floor immediately and break it, like every single time. So I love electric pencil sharpeners, and recently one of my students asked if I had heard about this new pencil sharpener that everybody likes, and I said, pencil sharpener? And he told me it makes a really nice long tapered point, and I thought, yeah, so does my electric sharpener. But he sent me a link on Amazon and I got it, and it kind of changed my life. So I want to show you the difference between the two here. I'm also going to do a little compare contrast on some of the benefits of each one. So this first one is an Exacto School Pro pencil sharpener, and I have had a bunch of these because, like I said, I have ruined a bunch of sharpeners, and I've liked a lot of the Exacto sharpeners that I've gotten, and they do make this nice, relatively long tapered point, and it has a really big receptacle, so when I'm teaching classes and I have a lot of students using these, it doesn't fill up too horribly fast, so I like that. It also has a bunch of different sized holes in the dial here so that you can turn according to what you need. And I'm going to go ahead and sharpen some pencils with this so that you can see how it works. So here you can see that it gives a nice sharp point and a relatively long taper. And you might also notice that it only took really about 5 seconds per pencil. Of course, each one was already a little slightly sharpened. They weren't completely flat or straight out of the box or anything, but pretty quickly, this sharpener will give you a nice sharp point to work with, and not a insane taper, but really just the best that I've found around up until now. Here is the new sharpener that I have gotten and I've been using for maybe a couple weeks now, and it is the Afmat, sounds like Aflac. It is the Afmat Electric Pencil Sharpener. So this is the box it came in. I got it off Amazon. I can't remember the price exactly. It was somewhere between $25 and $30, and it's kind of interesting. So the first thing that I noticed, because I got out the directions and I started reading the directions, is apparently it doesn't work while it's plugged in. So that was a little confusing for me. Apparently this has a battery in it and you need to charge the battery and then use it once the battery is done charging. Because I was all excited and ready to like sharpen pencils right away, right out of the box, but I had to wait a few hours in order to charge it. So once you plug this in to the wall outlet, it's not going to sharpen any pencils for you. So then once I did get it charged and all set, I looked around it a bit and I noticed there is this dial on the back so that you can change the length that you want the pencil tip to be. So like what kind of a taper, how sharp do you want that point? So of course, I put it on the sharpest one to begin with, because why not? Why am I gonna put it on a more dull one? I don't understand that. But let's go ahead and give it a shot and see the difference. Now it does have an automatic shutoff. On most of my other sharpeners, an automatic shutoff just means that you can feel it won't keep sharpening, but things keep moving in there. This, it completely stops when it's done being sharpened. So I'm gonna pull that out, and here is the difference between the two. So I was like shocked. I mean, I thought that maybe I was gonna get another millimeter or two out of this, but this looks, I mean, this looks like a full centimeter of additional taper on this thing. I mean, it's kind of crazy. So obviously I went and I sharpened like practically all of my pencils like that afterwards. It does take a while. If you notice, it took probably more like 15 seconds, sometimes more, to get that sharpened, but I think it's worth it. You know, the longer the taper, the more narrow the taper on the end, the longer you're going to be able to use that pencil before having to sharpen it again. Emptying this thing out can also be just a little weird. I'm kind of used to the way the tray just pops out on this one, and I like that. It's pretty simple for me to open up and then carry over. In this one, the tray doesn't come out. This lid goes upwards. It's a little difficult to do it as well. Okay. So now that I got that open, it kind of looks like a little superhero from the side. But now that I got that open, I would be able to empty it, but this plastic does get in the way too. If I ever want to go in there and clear something out, that's going to get in the way a little bit. So I don't prefer that aspect of it. And also, got it. Okay. So I don't prefer that aspect of it, and also the fact that there may be a few hours here and there when I'm not able to use it because it ran out of battery and I had to plug it in and it doesn't work while it's plugged in. To me, that sucks. That's kind of a pain in the butt. I would much rather be able to plug it in, but as I have been thinking about it over the past couple weeks, I can see where for most artists that is not so much of a problem, because maybe you're going to drawing sessions and you're not in your own space, or you're outside sketching or something like that. In that sense, I can see where it's preferable that you be able to charge the battery and take it with you. Whereas I'm usually drawing somewhere in my own space that I can just go ahead and plug it in. And so I like that I don't have to think about charging it or remember if I charged it before I leave. So to me, the solution is just to get two. So one is always charged and ready to go while you're doing the other one. So there you go, there you have it. I really like the long tapered point on these pencils. I have a feeling that I'm going to become addicted to that new taper, and it's going to be difficult for me to work with the other pencils that have the shorter tip on them. I'll go ahead and leave a link to both of these down below in case you want to check them out for yourself. I definitely recommend both of them. I'm just really currently very infatuated with the long tapered point on this Afmat pencil sharpener. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time.